Hello and welcome to this final episode of Make Movement Matter for this year. As we reach the end of 2025, I wanted to take a moment with you, wherever you're listening, to pause, reflect, and think about how best to look forward. This year has been one of big changes behind the scenes in Reclaim Movement. I've created new courses, I'm currently launching a new brand and a brand new website, and I've written my first book, Move Well for Life, which will be published on the 1st of January. And I'm looking forward to actually holding the first real copy in my hands this week, which I know is going to be an emotional moment. It still feels surreal saying out loud that I'm an author. But as exciting as those milestones are, the real message I want to talk about today is that true progress doesn't come from big leaps. It's in the moments where we choose to keep going and where we celebrate the tiniest wins, because they matter as much, if not more, in my opinion. So as you think back over your own year, I'd like you to think about what the small, regular wins have been that have built up to longer term progress. It's often something that no one else might notice, like the decisions you make to look after your body and your mind on a daily basis. And those are sometimes the most powerful. When I look ahead to 2026, I've got projects on the horizon that I'm really excited about. But if I'm honest, some I also feel really nervous about. But knowing that pushing myself into that discomfort has been a theme I've chosen this year, and I plan to continue. It's so important to not let the fear or knowing that it's going to be uncomfortable stop you doing the thing. Trying, even when you're unsure of the outcome, is undoubtedly where the growth happens, not just for me as a coach, but even for getting my message out that I'm trying to share, that everyday movement really is powerful and transformative and available to all of us. One of my favourite client examples this year of the benefit of just pushing yourself was when Sue, who was a participant on my Reclaim Everyday Ease live course this autumn, found herself seeing a water slide on holiday that she hadn't even contemplated for decades and choosing to have a try. She had to get her knee to agree to bend to get in there, but once she did, she was off and she loved it. Her daughter was amazed and she felt really proud of herself. And I know that that choice will bring more moments of confidence in her life that will expand her world and how capable she feels. That's where the small moments can really add up to something far bigger than we realise. After all, we all fall into familiar movement patterns. Just getting through the day becomes the norm. When I found myself living with chronic pain, I realised how much I had taken my body's ease and capability for granted. I hadn't appreciated the trust I once had in my body, the trust that it could carry me through pretty much whatever life threw at me. But when that trust disappeared, my entire perspective changed. And how we see our movement is not just affected by our physical function. And I see this echoed in so many people I work with. One of my clients is still rebuilding after a tragic accident. His determination to reclaim his function is remarkable, yet grief and fear cast long shadows, and returning to the activities he once loved feels incredibly hard. His story is a powerful reminder that movement is not just physical, a topic that comes up time and time again on this podcast. It's emotional, layered, and deeply human. And rebuilding trust takes time and compassion. I absolutely love talking with my incredible guests on this podcast. And as we end a second year and over 70 episodes, I want to take a moment to thank all the incredible guests who joined me on the podcast this year. Each person brought their own wisdom, perspective, and lived experience. And I've genuinely loved every conversation. Their generosity of time, honesty, and insight have stayed with me long after the recording button clicks off. Across the year, we've explored themes that feel more important than ever. That it's never too late to try something new. That tuning in and truly listening to our bodies is essential, not optional. That the human body is extraordinary in its ability to heal, adapt, and surprise us. That appreciation and care are fundamental to feeling capable, confident, and well. A thread that appeared again and again was possibility. The idea that even tiny shifts in how we move, breathe, think, or rest can change how we experience our lives. I can't name everyone individually. There were too many wonderful guests, but the range of conversations this year was broad and beautiful. So if you're looking for inspiration to accompany a walk over the break, do wander back through the archive. You may find exactly the message or reminder you need right now. And as always, if there's someone you'd love to hear from on the podcast next year, someone whose story, whose work or perspective you feel would resonate, please feel free to suggest them. Some of our best conversations have come directly from listeners' recommendations. As we turn toward a new year, there's always talk about resolutions, but I want to gently encourage you to pause before you set any and ask yourself honestly, will this resolution support me or will it hinder me? If goals motivate you, brilliant, go ahead and set them. But if they sometimes end up creating pressure or a sense of failure before January is even over, then consider shifting to intentions instead. Because the reality is that change rarely happens overnight, and progress is built through long-term consistency in both mindset, movement, and self-kindness. Habits cannot be hacked. They are formed slowly and compassionately by showing up again and again. Intentions allow us to look forward with hope rather than pressure and appreciate progress at whatever pace it unfolds, and most importantly, to applaud ourselves simply for trying. I'm so excited about the conversations coming up next year, and I'm equally grateful to be continuing this podcast now, over 70 episodes, as I said, heading into its third year, which feels extraordinary. Creating these episodes takes time, energy, and resources. And I would be so grateful if you could leave a 5-star review with a few words on Apple Podcasts or a rating on Spotify, because it genuinely helps the platforms understand that this show is worth sharing more widely, and it means the world to me as well. And of course, please do share any episode that resonates with someone you care about. That too makes an enormous difference. As we enter the festive season, whether it's a joyful time for you or a little more complicated, my message is the same. Keep moving. Movement woven into play, connection, family time, or movement that breaks up overwhelm, or movement that takes you outside to breathe and reset. But just keep moving. Little moments of movement can hold you through both the highs and the lows. Thank you so much for listening, for supporting the podcast, and for being part of Make Movement Matter and Reclaim Movement communities. I'm sending you my warmest wishes, and I cannot wait to step into a new year with you. Here's to small steps, big possibilities, and an everyday movement-filled 2026.